Welcome to Isn't It Obvious. I'm your host, Philip. Joining me today is Micah and Sera. And isn't it obvious that when you go to movie theaters, you should have a pizza blanket where you would buy a pizza and then you would wrap it in a blanket and you would just walk through, open the blanket, and eat pizza while you're watching the movie.
You've never been to Elmo?
No, Draft House.
Draft House.
No.
Go there. They will bring you a pizza.
Well, you don't even need a pizza blanket. They'll just bring you a pizza.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was just thinking, why just have this for movies? They should just have this for every occasion. I just came from a parade, which was like fucking 85 degrees out today, but in the sun. And like, I was with my kiddos and the editor, and there's this couple that just kind of stroll right behind us, like those one arm motion, and then like the chair just pops into place.
Yeah.
And that's what these two cool couples were like. And then like chairs out there.
Prepared for their day.
They're prepared, and they just sat down in the shade, and I'm like a chump sitting in direct fucking sun because the sun moved and the tree didn't move with the sun because I don't understand how suns work. And the guy unraveled his blanket, and it was
full of
fucking pizza.
Magic.
It was like in a suburb area where it's like kind of cutesy charming, and it has like all these little like non-chain pizza places, and there was this one that has like wood-fired or coal-fired pizza, and those bastards actually went there, ordered the pizza, put it in this blanket, sat down, one arm motion chair popping thing, sat on it like cool people do, unwrapped the blanket, fucking pizza, and I'm here just eating like little Tootsie Rolls where people just throw candy at us because that's what we do in parades, which is kind of weird, but I'm not going to talk about that. And then my brain was like, wow, we could just do this for everything. Like soccer thing for the kids, or a football thing, or a hockey thing. And it's like,
this is Phil's
fucking pizza blanket.
Yeah, this is your goal.
Yeah.
Really? So you're saying a pizza blanket is a way to upend the current capitalist system that uses
it's not
long
just
sporting events like that in order to upcharge for basic food and drink.
It's not just the blanket,
Micah.
Micah. It's not just the blanket. It's also the chair popping.
It's not the chair popping.
It's so important.
No,
like you got to be super cool. You got to just
no. The chair popping's done. You have a meme. That's the coolest that can ever be. It can never be cooler than that meme.
That's true. I mean, that's like A grade cool. You can only get to maybe A-, but still pretty cool.
I don't know, maybe like B+.
B+
Depends on taking a
good.
shot in the mouth or not.
Shot in the mouth.
What? I didn't. What? Something in your mouth?
I'm good.
Okay.
I made my point. Phil understood me. Just went over his head.
Right.
Accuracy was off.
No, see, this sounds to me like, Phil, you just want to be that guy who has this really fucking awesome, like, just pop the chair, boom, the blanket with the pizza just magically poof, in just wafts out, smelling good. And
It's
then
like a goddamn mage.
yeah,
Yeah, but you know what you
Magic.
could do? Here's the thing. You don't have to be a mage, but you can be an army. You can be like an old-ass necromancer from Diablo 2.
necromancy is expressly forbidden, though. So.
Yeah.
I'm referring to a game of which you have an army of mobs that
Oh,
you summon
sorry.
yourself.
Right.
Sorry, lizard.
Because you
rules.
have kids. So you can be cool chair popper. You could have one child be pizza blanket holder.
Yes.
One child be spare chair holder.
Yes.
Like, good job. I want to say brave, but I'm thinking more of Abercrombie's book with the
I lost my harmonica.
guy in the north who had all of his kids.
That was
were
a Simon and
around.
Garfunkel joke. Hope y'all. Sorry.
No, but who's the guy in the north who has all of his kids? And the
What?
in
From what?
Abercrombie's books in the first
I
Law
don't
series.
remember.
There's the one guy who has like all of his kids, and all of his kids just carry around all of his weapons.
I do remember. I don't remember his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That's what you need to be.
I know.
You need to be that guy.
I know.
Like
And then all I
just
can do
this
is just
badass
cool pop
fucking
him.
this
Yeah.
badass fucking Viking dude. He's
But
just
we also, like, the editor brings snacks for the kids, right? Like, those little bars you eat, and they're okay, right? But they're not fucking pizza.
Right.
are they cereal bars or are they like other kind of bars?
They're kind of like bars you eat for nutritious purposes, but it's not like super tasty.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it's like okay to eat just because you're hungry.
They're basically dog biscuits for people.
They're people biscuits.
Why
They're
are you
people.
talking dog biscuits are tasty?
I can't believe it's not bacon.
People biscuits.
Well, I mean, that one's
are
bad. I'd rather just go with like the fake and bacon.
Fake and bacon's good.
That's
Bacon.
Yeah.
Or it's bacon.
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 Again, those are bad. But like the fake bacon for humans.
I don't know. I've
No,
never had either of them. So.
Sure. From experience, they're bad.
Not for dogs.
Because dogs don't care.
Yeah, dogs really don't care.
They have
They just
10
want the
times our
smell,
smell. They
yeah.
have half our taste.
All right, so
That's why they find butts so tasty. Because
Yeah.
there's flavor there.
And why they
Well-
eat their own shit sometimes.
Well, yeah, if you're a bad owner, then let them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let them.
Yeah.
Really, it's about
And
the let.
they just do whatever they want because, yeah.
That's
Ugh.
it's a bad owner right there.
Well,
Probably.
speaking of bad owners, like I was at this.
You let your kids eat their own poop?
Well, no, but it does happen when they're in the womb and as they're leaving. There is a crew of people that constantly check this situation where if the baby as it's departing the birth canal will eat its own poop, then it's like fucking code red and different things happen and lights show up and there's. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then by the third time, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the crew that does that checks it because that's kind of gross and, that's really disgusting.
Johnson, we have a very important delivery today. Are you ready? Yes, sir! I know it's your first time here. Hopefully you're prepared for it. First one's always messy.
Yeah, that's kind
They're
of...
always messy.
They're always... Yeah, but you get so used to it. Like, I remember one of the complaints that, like, new dads would have or as they were expecting, they're like, oh, I don't want to change the diaper. And it's like... Like, what are you talking about?
It's really...
It's so innocuous.
Yeah.
Big fucking...
You wipe your own ass every day.
Yeah.
Probably multiple times.
Yeah, at least.
Right, it's-
at least
it-
once a day.
it's like
Hopefully.
humans- Easily desensitized, like, get desensitized to that. Like, super quick. And
Well,
it's
it's
like,
like-
oh, it's
Yeah,
not a
well,
big
it's the same
deal.
thing with, like, having a child, having a dog, having a cat. Like, you just... You pick up after it. You do.
Yeah.
And you just get used to it. Like... we have a mutual friend who's maybe getting a dog in the nearish future. Who knows? And she doesn't want to pick up the dog's poop because in her mind, she's like, that's gross. I don't want to touch it when it's all warm and fresh. And like, but I'm like,
That's what the condom's for.
yeah, the bag, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, don't worry, you'll get used to it. Like it's gonna be nothing to you. Like
Yeah.
just do it like 2 times and you'll be like, it's gonna
Yeah.
be nothing.
Yep. There was one time when...
Wash your hands. Oh darn! Like it's,
Or don't. I mean, it's your hands.
Please
Like, you
do.
Just do what you want.
please wash your hands. But
I mean, yeah, you should wash your hands, but it's not a shall. Like, there's not the cops going to come there.
you're not gonna get arrested for it. But please wash your hands.
Yes, Micah, please continue. Please stop me from talking about not washing your hands.
Please wash your hands.
Please, Shit.
Please wash your
Micah,
hands.
go talk, please.
I'm good.
Editor,
Damn it.
No, but like...
I never washed my hands the whole time I lived.
please save this person.
45 years old. Never washed my hands, not once. Clean plenty of diapers, though.
That's what your tongue is for. Really getting those nooks and crannies.
I don't understand how cats don't get themselves killed. Like, they clean themselves with their tongue, but they're filthy. So, like, how does that work? How are they not dead?
Saliva's naturally disinfecting, sort of. Maybe.
But they get dirty, right? And so then, like, but they put the dirt in their mouth, like, clean. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand cats. I don't understand how they're not, like,
Or dogs.
yeah.
Dogs don't often clean, like, their whole bodies, though.
They
Yeah,
that
but they lick.
flexibility.
They'll lick. Well,
Yeah,
they'll get it. Yeah, I was like, they'll lick. Yeah, and they'll
Oh, that's true.
But
yeah,
also,
like
like,
dogs. Like, yes,
the
I agree.
human
Yeah,
mouth
agreed.
is more dangerous to other humans than any dog's mouth.
I would. Yeah, 100%.
Because the amount of, like,
Except for hyenas. That's a different.
that's a lot of carrying there.
But that's a different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can still like get sepsis from a dog or a cat bite. You absolutely should get that disinfected immediately. But getting bit by a human is like way worse.
Oh, yeah.
Our mouths are disgusting.
We have a
Super
wider
disgusting.
span of bacterium that can live on.
We also eat a lot of different things, whereas most dogs and cats are kind of like on a pretty minimal diet. You know, like they're on the same food for the most part of their whole life. So like their opportunity for growing more weird bacteria is probably not as great as ours.
Depends on how much McDonald's you eat for dogs.
Like,
Okay, but
It's
to
good
be
enough for me,
honest,
it's good enough for her.
no,
wait, what?
too
No.
way too much sodium. That'll kill
I'm
an
not giving
animal.
her the whole burger.
I,
Just the part I don't want to eat because I've definitely had way too much salt.
like, it's
See?
not gonna probably
Sharing is
kill her,
caring.
but like too much sodium.
But
way
there
too
was
much
one
sodium.
time when I first was living on my own with my dog, and I had a pig's kneecap from a roast, but it was still pretty fatty. It wasn't well trimmed, and I was just like, give it to her for a time and then take it away, kind of a good treat thing. But I made the mistake of leaving it there Monday morning and just let her gnaw on it all day. When I get home and she's just like sitting in front of the door with this just ashamed look on her face, as I look over on my carpet and there's just like pools of diarrhea poo
Oh, yeah.
that were all still warm.
Yeah.
So if I got home like 10 minutes sooner, it'd be a little bit better, but
Poor thing.
I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, that was.
that's okay.
I mean, like, that's when you kind of are like, yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Should not have left such a fatty treat.
I mean, yeah. It's
Okay,
like,
so I shouldn't
Like-
say this story, but I was taking care of a dog, and it was a relative's dog, and they didn't tell me the dog wasn't feeling well, and so I would take care of the dog, went back home from work, and then I could immediately smell it in the crate because we had created the dog, and then as I was cleaning the dog up, there was no hygiene cut for the dog, and it was a kind of like floopy dog. So it was like, oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you can't,
Yeah.
like it's like strainy fur.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
man,
like
you're fucked.
I'm not here to freaking. So I had to get scissors that I'll never use again, and then just like had to like, do my own hygiene cut as this dog is just still doing its business because it's sick, and I'm like, oh,
Poor thing.
see, this is why. I love dogs enough that like I don't, obviously don't blame the dog. I do kind of like, come on, owner, like you
A
could-
little
you
bit,
could, like
yeah.
now it's like anytime I would take care of a dog, I'm like, hey,
Is there anything I need to worry
anything I
about?
need to know
Yeah.
about? Like, do we need to like what's the veterinarian's number? Can you give it a hygiene cut if it has like fluff everywhere? But my brain was like, it's not the dog's fault. The dogs
No.
eat things that apparently wasn't supposed to or shouldn't have eaten, or maybe it was fine, but it was in a new environment and that upset the dog too. So that could have been it. But still, it's like
Now some dogs have sensitive
you
tummies.
can't just Anyway, that was terrible. Like diapers are not bad because they're normally confined to a certain location. It could like explode and that happens, but
Hey, it's not just dogs. One of my neighbors has a newish cat, and I don't think they're super great at cleaning out the litter box.
oh, we got to do that every day.
You do have to do that like every day.
Yeah.
If I'm going on vacation, like I'm like you can. If I have like a cat sitter who's like, if it's just over a weekend, I'll be like, you don't have to. Like they'll be fine. I'll just take care of them when I get home. Like they'll be okay for a day or two. It'll be fine.
If you have
But-
multiple boxes, yes.
I do. I have 3
Right.
for the 2. But yeah, every day. I don't think they did that, and it was like a big thunderstorm.
Oh no.
And this is a younger cat, and I think she got scared. And of course, cats go to where their scent is strongest when they're scared. So she, long-haired, lovely gray cat, hunkers down in her litter box for the night, and she just comes out the next morning covered in shit, just covered in shit. So I
Yeah.
get a text
Okay.
in the morning like, how do you clean?
Hey, just you know something about cats. How do you clean?
Yeah, how do you get, I'm just like,
You fucked up. Hang up.
I'm like, clean out your fucking litter box, first of all. That should not have been full to the point where if they sat in it, that they would have shit all over their fur. That's first problem.
If they don't want to clean the litter box, there are devices.
Yeah, you can spend a little bit more money
Yeah.
and get like an electric one that'll just sort of do it for you.
$800 Biden dollars
Uh-huh.
to get you a robot.
Give me $800 Biden dollars to get you an intern.
Or you know, it's funny because she also has a daughter. The daughter would be perfectly capable of doing it as well. Just saying, right?
Yeah.
Make
Teach
it part
the
of
kids
a
responsibility.
routine chore.
Yeah, just every morning the daughter cleans, and then every evening before you go to bed, just double check.
I mean, honestly, you really should. I mean, at least once a day, right? Like,
Every
Sometime.
other. If it's only the one cat, probably every other.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
with mine, I have 2, so it's like I kind of have to do it at minimum once a day. Sometimes I gotta do it twice because one of them is a little stinky.
Yeah. They're very adorable creatures. but sometimes they get really stinky. Like, just, ugh.
Merlin doesn't.
Well, you have to stop feeding him so much McDonald's.
Clearly.
Or more. I don't know. Whatever the volume is right now is just not working for us.
Yeah. Sensitive tummies. Yeah,
So my idea is that when you go to... There's a place in this suburb-ish area where there's free music entertainment because Minnesota's nice like that, I guess. And they usually play like Johnny Cash songs.
Are you ready for the Midwest premier secondary, tertiary Johnny Cash covered band, but not the popular ones they couldn't get the rights to? Let me hear it!
St. Paul! Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm like, pizza blanket. You know, like any place where I go, it's just, I don't want these small little snacks that...
Oh, like a meal and a show.
You know
Yeah,
what, though?
sure.
Like, you should just have a blanket always in your car. Just always have a blanket in your car. Regardless of what fucking season it is, always have a blanket in your car. You never know when you have, like, an impromptu picnic or need a pizza blanket. Like,
Yeah.
you never know. So, like, really,
Have either of those ever happened to you?
impromptu picnic? Yes. Pizza
Oh, wow.
blanket? No. But it has been, yes, the random blanket in the car has been useful.
Oh yeah, random blanket in the car.
Always.
Definitely useful,
Yeah.
Wait, you mean my stamp collection in my trunk is not a good idea?
No.
It's a good topic of conversation, though.
Is it?
Is it a blanket
Anyway.
that has stamps on it, or is it just a stamp collection book?
There's no blanket involved.
No.
So, not as
Oh.
cool. Way not cool.
I mean, I do have a blanket in my trunk,
Yeah.
but it's more so for if you crash and need to stay warm in the winter.
I mean, that's
kind of
a second good reason to have
Yeah,
a...
That's my first.
Actually, really, it is the first
Yeah,
good
that's
reason
a
to have
really
a
good-
blanket.
yeah,
but,
that's-
but, like,
If I have 2 shovels in my trunk.
yes, so, okay. The first reason you have a blanket in your car is to stay warm in the event of your car breaking down in the middle of winter. Second reason, impromptu picnics. Third reason, pizza blanket.
Pizza blanket. Yeah. Absolutely.
But, like,
So are you happy with your pizza blanket experience, Johnny?
No, because you guys. Well, the other thing was that I was supposed to be able to smuggle the pizza blanket to places without getting detected.
I
because-
mean, I thought you were pretty cool. So, it's okay.
All right, but when I came in there with the blanket, like, I want to be able to get a medium-sized pizza because large is too hard to conceal. So medium-sized one, and then if someone says, "What's the blanket for?" It's like, this is a comfortable blanket. I'll be using it to watch the movie in a temperature that I would enjoy. Back off. But the pizza blanket would definitely, like, the one I brought was a prototype, but the real one would actually have like little pizza things on it. Like, you know, obviously the fucking pizza
Are
blanket.
you gonna
gotta have
make?
pizza
Are you
on
gonna
it.
make a pizza
I've
blanket?
asked the editor to make me a pizza
You
blanket.
should learn how to make your own goddamn
I don't
pizza
know how
blanket.
to. It's fucking difficult.
It's
'cause,
not.
Like the fleece
It really
and
is.
how do you
No,
like
you don't
sew
need
it?
that.
I don't know, man.
You don't even have to sew it. You could just get like 2 pieces of fleece with pizza themes on them
Yeah.
and do the little knot thing. Like you just cut strips and you can just tie them together.
Oh shit! But how does it not like turn into parachute pants
It doesn't. I promise. The fleece sort of like sticks together.
using
it's,
like electromagnetic?
it's just fleece.
forces.
It does that. I mean, you could pull it apart if you really wanted to.
It's like
How do
Velcro?
Magnum work? Oh my
It's
god, no.
kind of like Velcro, actually, like natural Velcro, but it isn't quite. But it's
tie
super
it.
warm too. You,
Oh.
yeah, you could do it easy.
Okay, well then that settles it. I can make my own fucking
All you
pizza
need
blanket.
is 2 yards of one side and 2 yards of another. Or actually, you could do just one, and you could do like a blanket stitch around the edges.
What's a blanket stitch?
Super easy. The editor could absolutely show you how to do it.
I don't.
I can even show you. I got a fleece blanket
All right.
on my couch right now
Sarah is moving
With-
to the fleece blanket.
with a blanket stitch.
Sorry, what can't hear you from so far over there?
What? Can't hear me? It's a blanket stitch. That's
Okay.
a blanket. This is a blanket stitch.
What the hell is a blanket? How does that even? What is that?
You just
It's
move
just
it around every quarter inch,
Yep, pretty much.
and then you have the guideline through.
Yep.
So that's not by machine.
No, but it's just to make it a nice edge. Yeah, you just do it by hand.
Nice. Can I use my grubby,
Grubby hands.
unwashed?
Yeah, it's super
hands?
easy.
It's covered in baby poop.
I mean, it's
Better
been,
than KFC grease.
it's been washed. And it's most likely cat shit. But anyway. Well, actually, most likely.
I meant my hands.
Blanket.
Oh!
But yes, both things are probably
It's like,
true.
and I was going to say
because
not cat
I am
shit,
the
cat
chief
throw up, but you know, whatever.
Cat poop cleaner in the house. Okay.
Yeah, it's super simple. I'm sure the editor could show you. I could show you. It takes like 2 seconds to do.
Someday I will get the pizza because I have to go to a craft store to buy particular things for the next episode idea that I have. Yes.
Oh.
And
I
so
like that
then,
you're coming very prop oriented.
For this very vocal, audible medium.
I know, it's the best podcast. The best way to show very, visual things that you can only really see. What best way to do it?
Yeah, the last 2 minutes there were like, oh, yeah, this is a blanket stitch. This looks just like this. The listeners are like, what?
See the show notes, fellas.
Yeah, show notes.
To refer to the prior topic, people don't need this innate information because they can search for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And teach themselves.
You know what? Honestly,
Show notes.
Honestly, yes, though. Really useful life skill, being able to do your own fucking research.
No, it's terrible. Don't tell people to do their own research because they don't understand what good and bad is.
Okay.
You know how important it is to teach context?
Okay, but like when you have like a fucking coworker or a customer, or maybe not a customer, who is asking you like how many colors is in a thing that they could easily just look up them fucking selves in their records, but no, they have to send me a fucking email and say, hey, how many colors was that print we did last year? It's like, you don't have a record of this? Like,
no, it's a matter of ease.
oh my god, yeah.
They're just lazy, yeah.
Yeah, they're lazy.
Yeah.
They're fucking lazy.
They learned through their life that the best way to find an answer
is ask someone else to find it for them.
Exactly. It's like
fuck
whatever that
delegation.
rule of the internet is. If you want the right answer to a question,
Same with a
you ask
coworker
the
who's
wrong
like,
question.
Sarah, can you fix
incorrectly,
this?
too.
Yeah.
Can you fix this problem I'm having with my computer? Did you try Googling it? Because that's what I'm gonna have to do.
I do that to my older coworkers. Like they say, "Hey, shoot, do you know how to get this Excel thing to work?" And I'm like, "What do you need to do?" It's like, "Well, you need to be able to remove duplicates." It's like, "Yeah, I know how to do that." It's like, "You do?" It's like, "Yeah, come on over." So they have to walk all the way to my fucking desk.
I
I'm
would
like,
make
you
them
here?
walk.
It's like, "Yeah, okay, let me show you." Like, actually, I don't know. I'm just gonna Google it. You're like, "You fucker!" I'm like, well,
Maybe you should learn how to fucking Google it, you
they're just
asshole.
watching me Google this, and then like watching
This
a
is
YouTube for 3
this is a
minutes.
skill.
And then I'm like, "Oh, that's how you do it." And he's like, "Why did I bother you? I could have just done this myself."
Yeah, no
And I'm
shit,
like, But
fucker.
now we both know. And like 2 months later, he's like,
I'm gonna do that next time.
someone asks, he's like, "Hey, do you know how to do this?" And he's like, "You know who knows how to do this? Phil, he's really good at fucking Excel." And then some other fucker walks all the way to me and it's like, "Hey, do you know how pivot tables work?" He's like, "Yeah, I know how pivot tables work. Why don't you come on over?" And then like, I have to walk all the way from the fucking factory to my desk. And he's like, "So you know?" I was like, "Yeah, what do you need to do?" He's like, "I need to get this stuff and it needs to be like
Let me
horizontal."
show you how
I'm
to
like,
fucking
"Yeah, I don't
do
know how to do
this."
that at all. I have no fucking clue. But let me Google that for you." And I don't go to any Google. But to fucking seal the deal, I go to letmegooglethatforyou.com. Which is the same thing, but then
that?
it retypes it and then a little arrow gif clicks on the search. And their face is fucking priceless. They're like, "Why am I here?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Why are you here?"
Yeah, maybe you should
came
have
to
fucking
me.
You should have fucking Googled it yourself, you cunt.
So that's the best.
Oh my god, I'm doing that next time.
Yeah, they stopped going to me now.
But it was worth it.
It was.
for the
It was. They stopped because the people I work with now know how to Google, but
Yeah,
like the
which is
previous company,
really
they did it.
an
And it's just
underappreciated
chef's
skill.
kiss. Yes.
So brilliant.
But to ask people how to research it on their own is like really fucking dangerous. I went to they're making a roundabout in an area that's close by into an area that I care about. That's going to be as vague as I'm going to fucking get. And I really hate it because they had an open house and in some county that's not ours, but for some reason are in charge of this fucking thing. And I'm like, "Hey, what's your statistics to show it's safer?" Obviously. It's like, "Oh, it's super safe, sir. Like we have it in Europe, we have it in all these other places near you right now. Roundabouts are definitely the safest thing that's ever come, and it's a lot
Sounds
more
like they
affordable,
played,
and it's great." And
Way
it's
too
like-
much City Skylines.
I was like, "Okay, well, I think that you're only doing it because you just said it's more affordable. I mean, in your freaking infographic, you say you save $200,000 over the next 3 years because you don't have to have lights, right?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, maintenance is fantastic, and it shows that car crashes happen very infrequently, and the ones that occur are so low speed, everything is fine." And I'm like, "Okay, I just have one question. If I'm vision impaired without my glasses, and I need to be able to cross the street, how am I going to do it?" "Well, you have these signs that says you have to yield to pedestrians." And I'm like, Do they actually yield to your studies?
They fucking don't.
I was like, well, that's the law. And I'm like,
They
really?
don't, though.
So you're saying that they will yield? I can take off my glasses and I can walk and it'll be fine? And I don't have to care for traffic? Well, obviously you need to be able to see where you're going. Like, but if I can't, and you're supposed to be
blind.
like Americans with Disability Act compliant, right? Because what if people who don't have a choice, they can't see well and need to be able to get to the other side of the street? Well, how would they do it now? I'll tell you how they fucking do it now. They press a button and it says, wait. And then
the light
turns on and then cars have to respond to it. But you're telling me with these fancy roundabouts that cars will just continuously come and go. Oh, there's like a little section in the middle. It's called like a haven, and so you can just go there.
No.
It's like, yeah, but how do I get there if I can't see very well? Mm-hmm. Like, well, if you can't see very well, so I can't see very well, you're not complying to ADA? Is that what you're saying? Well, we have studies that show that it's not as dangerous for pedestrians because cars go slower. Oh, I'll tell that to my the person who ran me over that it's okay because they only ran me over at 10 miles an hour instead of 20. Thanks.
Yeah, maybe I don't die
But does
the
that affect the
and rib.
lawsuit? Because when you sue them because you were hit in a pedestrian protected area of the road.
Well, then actually it's the
Is
driver's fault because he's supposed to always stop at pedestrian signs, and according to the law, that always happens. Like, because we don't need. I actually told them we don't actually need police officers.
I mean, we don't because they're fucking useless.
Because when people speed, they don't speed because it's against the law to speed. So you don't need police officers to verify that claim. So you just don't need it because it's against the law. So you don't need to have people to check. So that's why.
Hey, a good guy with a car stops a bad guy with a car every time.
That guy fucking hated me. He's like, look, I was like, just give me one fucking study from the DOT, NDOT, right, Minnesota Department of Transportation, that says that roundabouts are safer for pedestrians. Just give me a fucking study right now as your open house. Well, we have that infographic behind you. Like, that's a fucking poster with bullet points that have no cited references.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking layman. I'm not a civil engineer, but at the very fucking least, cite your sources if you're gonna spew bullshit or prove me wrong.
Well, look, sir, just if you look at the bottom, it does say Wikipedia.
Actually, that's what the people around me were saying. It's like, well, Phil, it says right there it's safer. It's like, really? It says right there it's safer? Like, so I could just have a sign that says everything is awesome, I'm cool, and you'll believe it because it's on a sign?
Yeah.
Well, you also have a catchy song to go with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, with Lego people dancing.
When you're part of a team.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went up to that guy and I was like, just fucking give me the evidence. Then I'll get out of your hair. Because clearly it's fucking better, right? Because you guys are saying it is. And actually, I do believe it. I'm just busting the guy's balls. And the guy's like, well, I don't have that study for you, but why don't you just research it on your own? And I'm like, you're really going to ask me to do my own research? Interesting. Well, I have something to tell you about COVID then. It's like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, all right. I'm going to leave. Sorry, guys. Wasted your time. But, yeah, roundabouts are safer. Bye. I fucking hate it because the whole point was, like, if you're going to be able to claim something, just fucking cite your sources. And if you're going to say do your research, be very fucking careful because they're ignorant assholes like me that would just glam onto, like, I hate roundabouts.com. Oh, my God. Kills all these birds. Then it's just...
Windmills. I mean,
windmills, yeah.
Basically windmills for the streets.
Yeah, they're like 2D windmills.
Yeah.
Did you know that solar panels actually take...
They're horizontal windmills.
Ions from the sun and making the sun's life shorter, and we're going to have the heat death of the universe faster.
If you believe that, let me tell you about photographing the sun. Because, if you think capturing someone's photons are big and taking away its life, wait till you steal its soul.
Yeah. There was a senator...
Soul, get it? Sun joke. Yeah. All right.
I didn't get it, but I got it now.
Right.
I also got the A- B+ joke now in the mouth, so thank you, Micah, for that. I didn't need to know that again. Anyway, rant is... I don't know if people are capable of doing their own research, so if it's... I don't know. I'm certainly not.
So, because of this, you understand that the heat blanket is just a fallacy, and you were jealous of the cool...
It was really the chair.
Yeah, it was the chair popping skills.
Yeah.
It's not so much the pizza blanket. It was the chair popping skills.
It was the entire presentation.
It's the whole thing. It's the whole package. The lifestyle. The glamour.
But you also need long hair and a beard then.
Yeah. And he had a cool hat. And he had...
You can get a hat.
It said M.A. blank A, because the G had fallen off.
I'm just telling you guys, like, I understand why people...
Mana. It'll be a purple hat or something like magically. Then never mind. All right, fine. Mana.
That's blue.
Whatever.
It'll be like
Whatever the fuck color it wants to be. It's magic. It doesn't really.
It's always blue.
Why is it's not always blue?
It's always blue.
It's not.
It's always blue. Phil?
I thought it was brown.
Are you colorblind?
I don't know if I'm colorblind. There was this book that says, "Are you colorblind?" But then it had like in colorblind, and I was like freaking out because I couldn't tell number 8. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm colorblind!" And then you go to the exam, and it's like you should not be able to see number 8. And I was like, "Oh,
unless
you were."
So this is not a Little Miss Sunshine reference?
Well, that's actually very sad, though. Yeah, in the movie Little Miss Sunshine.
I haven't seen this movie.
The oldest son of a divorcing family whose husband's brother recently committed suicide, or attempted suicide. So it's this very tight family drama, and the oldest son is taking a vow of silence until he joins the Air Force.
He hates his family.
Yeah, he absolutely hates his family.
Okay.
Towards the end of the trip, spoilers, he's looking through a colorblind book.
Because he has a younger sister.
Yep. Who's also learning that, and he can't make out the, yellow-red
Yep.
colorblind. And he has an absolute freak out in the back of this van. Because he's colorblind, he can never be a pilot.
Aww.
Because he can't be colorblind to be a pilot.
Too bad.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a very touching scene.
Eh.
And then the joke at the end, which this 2-hour drama is leading up to, is the fact that the father of this husband who's having marital issues taught his granddaughter basically a stripping routine for a dance competition.
Okay, gross. All
Yep.
right, cool.
Well, none of it's actually stripping. It's just meant to be like that provocative type stuff with an 8-year-old dancing.
Sure.
And that's all this entirely serious drama about a divorcing family, brother who almost committed suicide because of a jilted lover, and all of these dramatic things.
If this guy had my philosophy on life, he would have been less upset about the fact that... Anyway, sorry.
Oh, philosophy was a big part of this movie.
Yeah, well, the movie was actually really good, except for one flaw. The one thing I really liked about that movie that really resonated with me is that the father, his profession in the movie was a motivational speaker, and he was terrible at it.
Yep.
And it's just a sad story because you only see motivational speakers like Tony Robbins being good at it, right? And he's trying to be, and he's losing his own motivation to be a motivational speaker. And they had to make this long road trip for the little girl to do her dance routine. And
at the Little Miss Sunshine competition.
Yeah.
Gross.
I know. It's the flaw is that I won't get to the flaw. The sad part of it is that the guy who's young, the son, he wants to be a pilot, and he's been kind of... I don't know how you say this. There's some classmates of ours that knew what they wanted to be when they were young, and they actually had a better chance of it because they got all their ducks in a row early.
Yeah, they figured out what they had to do to get to that point.
Whereas 99% of us were like, I don't know what the fuck I want to do. Right. But then those people that I want to be a doctor, right? It's a lot easier once you know where your target is. So I always both hated but also respected people like that, because it's you don't know what a doctor's like. It's well, it doesn't really matter because that's the person's charted course and that's what they want. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to chart a course, it's better to do it early than later.
Mm-hmm.
So for that kid to be he can't be the thing he really wanted, and that's what he was gearing towards because of
his
genetic
limitation.
Yeah, that was... I don't know, that felt pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I wonder if they could come up with a way to fix that, implant rods and cones in your eyes someday to fix that.
But I still think they would take natural 20/20 over augmented 20/20.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, what, a fighter pilot's $50 million even for the cheap ones?
Well, you're flying around a plane that's 80 million plus, unless you're dealing with an old test.
And there's crews of 100 people, from technicians to maintenance workers,
for
flight logs, and then the fuel is $1,000 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so
and you still need 8,000 hours before you can actually just fly on your own. That you're doing, and the flyovers to sports games and whatnot.
Yeah.
All that tallies in.
There's no fucking way that they're gonna let some hobo be a fucking pilot, even for cargo. That's just ain't gonna happen. There's so many people who want that job, and to be able to pilot something that fucking expensive would be like, I don't know, a captain of like a, I don't know, like one of those
Like
nuclear
captain of a
submarines.
cruise ship
Yeah.
ramming into another cruise ship
Yeah.
because he didn't know how tides worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that in Italy? No, that was the one he ran
No,
into
I
a
think
fucking rock.
Yeah, that was it's because he was drunk, and I think he was getting a blowjob at the time.
Gross.
Well, gross. People died.
He's a natural lefty, I guess.
Humans are the worst.
Sorry.
But
Men are the worst.
That's not true. Some women are the worst too.
Yeah.
True.
As a
lot of
feminist,
Karens.
do
Lot
we
of
have
Karens.
to
Yeah.
cite back to that astronaut who put on the astronaut diaper to drive across the country because the man she was having an affair with broke up with her to spend actual time with his family?
I just want to say that she set back NASA relationships, like public relations, like a good 20 years
I have
back.
no idea what you're talking about, but
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Early 2000s.
No, like
I don't
mid,
remember.
like 07, 08.
I didn't pay
Oh, yeah?
attention.
I think it was after my time in high school.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was an astronaut who drove from like somewhere west of Houston to somewhere in Florida because the guy she was having an affair with was going up on a launch and wanted to spend time with his family and then broke up with her from the affair they had when he was in Houston.
Yeah. To be an astronaut, by the way, to be part of like, what I said, like 100.
Doesn't mean you have to be people smart, apparently.
No, it's very smart because, well, no, yeah, you're right. People smart.
People smart's
Yeah,
different.
Yeah, people smart's different.
They
Different.
spent their entire life learning science and like how to live in your own personal submarine in the vacuum of space.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just like, you're breaking up with me? Like,
Yeah.
no, I understand that break.
Yeah.
You
Just
devoted much of your brain to many other important things. That
not your
include your-
social.
yeah. Not like you're a fucking astronaut. You can probably bag another dude
Okay, the
who's
interesting-
hotter and doesn't already have a family.
Interesting thing about astronauts, but almost all of the men would drive a Corvette because, that's a thing astronauts do.
That's weird.
They all came
Why?
from Boy Scouts,
Also
Eagle
gross.
Scout,
Even worse.
the highest one, and all women astronauts. Every woman astronaut from the U.S. came from the Girl Scouts. There's not a single woman astronaut that did not have Girl Scouts.
Interesting.
I suppose it's good baseline for like respecting authority, but also an organization that respects your ingenuity.
It's kind of weird.
It's like you're acquiescing to authority, but you are kind of challenging it at all times, but you're not being discouraged from challenging it as long as you accept its ruling.
Yeah, very militant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very militant.
But
Like-
not like, we're going to learn how to gut your enemy today. It's like, well, we're going to fix this hole in a boat. Like,
We're
that
gonna
applies
learn-
in space.
We're gonna learn how to, mend a thing or
Yeah.
fix a thing.
Practical
or,
applications
which fucking
of like
makes sense.
problem solving.
Which honestly is like a huge thing. Kids should be learning that.
Yeah.
100%.
Who cares what an atlatl is? Tell me how to fix a hole that in my like leaking basement.
Yeah. YouTube's great. That's all I'm saying.
But also not.
I mean, yeah, but like if you need to like learn how to like fix a toilet or replace one, YouTube's great.
The problem is the problem statement, right? Like, the first step in engineering problem solving is you need to identify what the fuck is wrong with something.
Yeah.
And
Where's the leak coming from?
no one has time for that. We just go straight to solution. Like, what the fuck is wrong? I don't give a shit. Like, here's my solution. Like, did you
Replace
even
the
read
whole
problem
fucking thing,
statement? We're nuking it from space. Like,
Yeah.
that's just, sorry. That's work creeping into my life.
You need to keep that leak separate.
It's,
Even though that's not how that works.
No,
That's not how it works.
You can't. That's not an aspect. That's a lie. that
No,
we were
boundaries.
taught.
Boundaries are important, and
Boundaries are
you have
important.
to enforce them.
But you can't
But you-
completely compartmentalize because there are
Yes, but you can enforce them.
no, but there are like still anecdotes that happen.
Yes.
Phil complains about work. You can complain about work. I can complain about work.
Yes,
Other friends can complain about work. Then that opens up for complaints about work.
but like you can still set your boundaries. Like I am not gonna work after like 4:30 or whatever.
Yeah, but
like
still-
you can set that rule.
It's still there. It's an inception. It's still there.
Remember when I talked about putting that wrong color on a shirt? It was there for a while.
That's a you problem. No, that's a
That's a non-problem because I haven't heard a complaint yet.
yeah. Good.
That's the best of the problem.
Yeah, for a while.
They're like
And
whatever.
honestly, having two different lilacs, I don't think was a bad idea on that shirt.
Yeah.
Having a dark one in the front and a lighter one in the back, Delightful.
Well, my thought is that there's something really wrong with having work leak into your private life and your private life leak into work. And as long as you don't work in a place that's hyper capitalistic, that's soul crushing, and everything is going through the roof as far as prices, but wages haven't caught up, and so everyone's just getting crushed by the wheels.
You know,
This is
very
why I didn't
helpful.
decide to go into being a lawyer.
You know, lawyers
That's why I'm in
are
art.
fine. You know what would really help the stress of that type of situation?
Alcohol?
No.
We both say from experience. It doesn't actually
I'm
help.
just so sad. You guys are drinking and I can't. I'm just
It doesn't help.
Just
Phil, it doesn't
going
help.
to different coworkers and asking them what is the difference between a and a.
God damn it, Micah.
And that's the only context you give them.
Well, with that in mind, thanks for listening to my idea
No,
for the pizza
there is no
blanket.
thank you.
And I really hope that you guys appreciated my surprise pizza blanket, but it wasn't that
it
much
was
of a
very good
surprise because you guys
It
saw
was
it.
delicious.
But
It was a surprise for me.
If I was
wasn't
working
expecting-
security somewhere, I would have noticed.
We both lost the bet too, by the way.
Yeah.
all right, so it kind of was a surprise pizza. See, pizza blanket.
Pizza blanket.
I'll make a fleece.
You are now the coolest in the room. You just need a
Well,
chair.
yeah, I'm sweating.
Do I need to turn the air down?
No, you need to turn it up.
The temperature down. Fan.
With the air up, like the temperature. Okay.
All right.
Bye, Mom.
Oh, final
Thanks.
question.
God damn. What?
What's the difference between and
No, get out of here. Just, no.
I really hope this doesn't
Thank you,
carry on
Mom.
to the third episode of the night.
Micah, you need to apologize to your mom.
No, I don't.
You need to apologize to my mom.
And
No, I
mine.
don't.
And mine. Jesus.
No, I will ask them all this question to their face.
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
well, when I invite you up,
Mm-hmm.
don't
Hey,
you fucking dare. Don't you fucking
When
dare.
you go to my daughter's
excuse-
first birthday party and you see my parents there, I will have the Yeti microphone and this fucking laptop. I'm like, Mom, Dad.
I'm going to take Phil's pizza blanket and I'm going to smother you with it.
Hello. This is our first time meeting. Oh, Micah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I do have one very important question. Phil, you are recording, right? Okay, good.
Sarah comes in.
the pizza blanket. I'm the Undertaker. 6 feet from the. Okay. Well, sorry, Mom, that you had to hear that.
Yeah, really, all the
Yeah.
apologies.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.